Right now, your mind is doing something you never asked it to do. It is running, spinning, jumping from one thought to the next without any clear destination. You did not choose to think about what you said to someone 3 years ago, or what you will eat for dinner, or whether that sound you just heard means something. And yet here you are, thinking all of it at once. You cannot turn it off. Here is the part nobody tells you: you were never supposed to. Your brain is not broken, it is not malfunctioning. It is not stuck in some kind of modern anxiety spiral for no reason. The endless stream of thought running through your head right now is one of the most ancient survival systems on the planet, and it has been running without a pause since long before you were born. To understand why you cannot stop thinking, you have to go back, not a few decades, not a few centuries. You have to go back hundreds of thousands of years, to a world where quieting your mind could get you killed. Imagine the landscape your ancestors woke up in. No walls, no lock on the door, no way to know if the territory beyond the ridge was safe or occupied. The sky told you the season, the ground told you which animals had passed nearby. Every sound in the dark was a question your body had to answer before your brain even finished forming the thought. The environment was not stable, it was not predictable. And the only organisms that survived long enough to pass on their genes were the ones whose minds never fully rested. Your brain inherited that world. Every circuit it runs, every loop it creates, every thought it generates before you even ask for it, all of it is the product of minds that evolved to scan, to simulate, to anticipate, and to never stop doing any of those things. In the early 2000s, a neuroscientist at Washington University named Marcus Raichle made a discovery that shifted the way scientists understood the human brain. He was running brain imaging studies and noticed something that did not fit his models. When study participants were told to rest, when they were given no task, no stimulus, nothing to focus on, a specific set of brain regions lit up with extraordinary activity, he expected to see the brain go quiet. Instead, it roared to life. He named this network the default mode network, and what he found in the years that followed was that this is not a glitch in the system. It is the system. Your brain's resting state is not rest at all. It is a continuous active process of memory consolidation, social simulation, future planning, and environmental monitoring. When you stop doing things, your brain does not turn down. It turns inward and it works harder. You are not a person who thinks too much. You are a human being doing exactly what your brain was shaped to do over hundreds of thousands of years of survival pressure. But the question worth asking is, why? What purpose does a mind that never shuts off actually serve? Evolutionary psychologist Randolph Ness has spent decades studying what he calls the mismatch between the ancestral environment and the modern world. His argument is simple and devastating. Your brain was calibrated for a world that no longer exists. In the ancient environment, a wandering mind was not a sign of distraction. It was preparation. Every time your ancestors' thoughts drifted toward a worst-case scenario, what if the water source dried up? What if the group that camped 2 valleys over crossed into this territory? What if that cough does not go away? Those were not neurotic spirals. They were low-cost mental rehearsals for high-cost physical dangers. The brain that ran those simulations survived. The brain that did not, did not. This is why your mind defaults to the negative. Not because you are a pessimist, not because something went wrong in you. Because negativity bias, the tendency for threats, losses, and bad outcomes to demand more mental attention than rewards and good news, was one of the most powerful survival advantages a brain could carry. Every human alive today is descended from ancestors who took threats more seriously than opportunities. The ones who did not are no longer represented in the gene pool. Your overthinking was not an accident of evolution, it was the whole point. But here is what nobody explains to you. Your brain was not just built to scan the physical environment. It was built, more than almost anything else, to scan the social one. Your ancestors did not survive alone. Survival was a group project. A human being separated from the group, truly expelled, truly exiled, had almost no chance of making it through a season, let alone a year. So your brain evolved to treat social belonging with the same urgency it treated food, water, and shelter. The same ancient threat detection systems that lit up when a predator appeared in the grass also lit up when a member of the group turned cold, when the laughter stopped when you walked in, when you said something and the room went quiet. This is why the voice in your head is, more often than not, a social voice. It rehearses conversations, it replays moments of rejection, it wonders what someone meant by the way they looked at you. It imagines future scenarios in which you say the right thing or the wrong thing and plays out both endings in real time. Your brain is not being dramatic. It is doing what it learned to do in a world where social standing was survival, and being misread by your group could cost you everything. Researcher Matthew Killingsworth at Harvard demonstrated the scale of this in a landmark study published in the journal Science. Using a smartphone app that pinged people at random throughout their day, Killingsworth asked a single question: "What are you thinking about right now and how do you feel?" The results were striking. Nearly 47% of the time, people's minds were somewhere other than the present moment. They were replaying the past. They were rehearsing the future. They were running scenarios that had nothing to do with what was directly in front of them. And in almost every case, that mental wandering was associated with lower well-being, except when people deliberately chose to visit pleasant thoughts on purpose. Nearly half your waking life is happening somewhere other than the moment you are actually in. Not because you lack willpower, because your brain is still running the ancient survival loop, and the ancient survival loop was never designed for the present. It was designed for everything that might happen next. Now consider what that loop looks like in a modern body. You no longer need to anticipate floods or rival groups or whether the sound you heard in the dark was a predator. The existential dangers your brain was calibrated for have largely disappeared from daily life. And yet the machinery your ancestors built is still operating at full capacity, and it has to go somewhere. What it does now is redirect that scanning energy toward the threats that are available. It monitors social media metrics with the same intensity it once tracked predator footprints. It replays a mildly embarrassing moment from last Tuesday with the same urgency it once ran escape simulations. Your brain does not know the difference between a genuinely dangerous situation and a merely uncomfortable one. It was never taught to distinguish. In the environment it was built for, the cost of being wrong was too high to bother making that distinction. There is a deeper layer still. One that explains not just why you think constantly, but why the thoughts feel so real, so urgent, and so impossible to dismiss. Psychologist and neuroscientist Michael Gazzaniga spent decades studying what happens when the two hemispheres of the brain are surgically separated, a procedure once used to treat severe epilepsy. What he found in those studies was that the left hemisphere of the brain behaves like a storyteller. He called it the interpreter. It does not wait for information. It generates explanations. It builds narratives in real time, filling in gaps, assigning causes, creating meaning, even when it has no real basis for doing so. In one famous series of experiments, split-brain patients performed actions controlled entirely by the right hemisphere, which the left hemisphere had no access to. When asked why they did it, the left hemisphere invented a reason. Confidently, immediately, completely. Your brain narrates your life because narration is how it makes the world predictable. The inner voice you hear is not just self-talk. It is your brain's interpretive system doing exactly what it was built to do, constructing a model of reality that helps you anticipate what is coming next. You cannot silence that voice because silencing it would mean dismantling the mechanism that your ancestors used to survive everything the world threw at them. And here is what this understanding actually gives you. When you know where the noise comes from, when you trace the voice in your head all the way back to the person crouching in tall grass, scanning every shadow, rehearsing tomorrow's dangers before the sun came up, it stops feeling like a disorder. It starts feeling like a message from every ancestor who faced the same uncertainty, who ran the same loops, who lay awake in the dark with the same spinning thoughts, and who survived anyway, not because they found a way to quiet the voice, but because they listened to it carefully enough to act. The endless stream of thought you carry with you every moment of every day, the one that wakes you at 3 in the morning, the one that interrupts your meals, the one that steals the quiet at the end of a long day, is the sound of a brain that never stopped fighting for your life. Right now, your mind is doing something you never asked it to do, and now, for the first time, you know exactly why.